Hail to Adam AF, the best comics case show on Saturday mornings, Arc City Comics. Great show, topical stuff.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish these same fake stories without checking facts first.
The sharing of biased and
false news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media publish these things simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
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 This is the Weekend Woke Up Call. All right. I actually did it without screwing it up this morning. Hail. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Weekend Woke Up Call. I am Adam AF, as always. Joining me today, we've got a very diverse panel of some people that have never been on the show before. We've got some returning favorites, as always. We've got two special guest co-hosts today. We have Aaron Calamari of Cybershock fame.
What's up, homies?
What's up? We've also got Chief Justice Optimus Prime of Graded Point 5 fame. Okay, there we go. And as always, we've got the man, the mad Canadian Simon Sim Potier.
Good morning, CG.
Good morning. Oh, there he is.
I want to point out that you wanted Boomerang, and I had muted my mic and forgot to unmute. So
there we go. Perfect.
That's how you, Adam. That's how you do it. You get somebody who's a bigger boomer than you.
Quota, boomer full quota, man.
You can't have a first time on the Woke Show without one screw up.
Oh, I'm sure there will be many screw ups today. So our special guest today, we have Xevious.
Good morning, man. Thanks for having me on. And
I did say that right, correct? It's Xevious.
Yeah, we go with Xevious. And
okay.
Hail Canada. Nice to meet you, Sim.
Nice to meet you.
We can talk offline. We got some polar things to talk about, weather stuff.
They're both soulless bastards, is what they're saying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, a fellow Canadian.
I knew what it meant.
Sim is like, I knew my power level increased.
That's right.
We've got two Canadians on the show. Something is definitely going to go awry.
The power is strong in this one.
Also joining us today, we have Buddy Lord.
Hey, what's up, guys?
So first and foremost, a lot of people don't recognize your actual name, Buddy Lord. You used to go around by the moniker Dr. Wright, correct?
Yeah, I went by Dr. Wright. I've been a writer for about 20 years, and I've used a lot of different pseudonyms, and that was just one of them. And this time, because I have worked on one of these projects for about 5 or 6 years, I was at a hotel with a young lady, and she and I were having some wine and talking, and she said, you've worked so hard on this, this should be your name. And I agreed with her, so I changed.
Well, that's what wine does to people, doesn't it?
And yeah, hot chicks and wine. That's what happens. You make impulsive decisions.
I saw photos.
Well, right on. So, okay.
Can you share?
Easy, Sim.
I don't think she would appreciate that.
Easy, Sim. Easy, Sim. Hail to the chat. Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us. We've got Skits Comic hanging out with us. Chris Evans, as always. What's up, dude? Anon, Cyborg Valkyrie. Hail, girl. Wayward Comics. So, what's up, dude? Long time no see.
Right.
We got a great looking book. Like a psychological thriller. I mean, I know
Yeah.
I'm here to pitch me, but I mean, you know, that's
No,
all
we're here to
spooky,
talk
right?
about all books, man.
So,
Yeah, we got Not Joe Fuago. Hello, Not Joe. We've got Panboy Lover, Soul Child Dong Lover, The Fugitive, also in the chat. Hail.
Nice.
Hell.
Thank you guys for tuning in this morning. Hopefully, you got a fun show for you. Oh, we also got Sigma Centurion. Hail, buddy. And Red Gaze. Holy cow, look at all these cool people.
Red is there too.
Red is here.
Everybody comes
Everybody's here. Good deal. So let's get this started off right. And we had this article that was passed along to me yesterday that I found very interesting and I felt very topical. And of course, we had to discuss an article like this when we have Aaron Calamari on the show,
Of course.
because the goal is to make him blush.
Yep.
okay.
So this comes from the New York Post. Doctors beg men not to masturbate with banana peels.
Nice.
Is this in
Okay.
Florida?
This is an actual thing.
This is apparently an actual thing. I'm assuming none of you guys have tried this.
I'm just
No.
wondering. Is this,
Yeah, no comment.
I'm,
I have
I'm-
heard,
I'm gue-
I have
I'm
heard
guessing,
of this.
I'm guessing the
Heard of
socks
it.
are getting expensive.
I don't even know where to go. I mean, this is just sure. I mean, it was they want to stick their dick inside of something cold and wet. I don't get that.
Yeah, not my first. We used to use watermelons back in the day. Put it
You
in.
know, wasn't it like
cut a
what
hole
was
in
that famous teen movie? Was it like Apple Pie or something?
Oh yes, from American Pie. Yeah.
This has got to be. This has got to be Florida. It has to be
A
Florida.
banana peel in the microwave.
I
What if
think
you
wouldn't it
microwave
just instantly just like disintegrate and turn brown?
I mean, exposed to air, like that's what happens to a banana. So
I'm guessing maybe it has to do with part of it, as in like choke the banana down, and then
That's kinky.
I know. Right?
so is it like gay guys mostly doing this thing?
Yeah, Red Gaze says you can microwave them. Maybe we
Okay,
should
you
have got
guys
Red
know
Gaze in
way
here.
too much about how to masturbate with a banana peel. I'm just saying.
I'm just filling in the blanks, man. Like,
You know, I mean, I
this
had a
is-
friend who was an EMT, and he talked about this. The weirdest. Oh, you know, it was one of those like we were drinking, right? And he's like, "What's the weirdest thing you've been on?" He's like, "Dude, I went to this place out in Sanderson, Florida. It was just kind of like a bohunk sort of town, right? Like 20 people."
Of course, it's Florida.
And it is. So this guy had just gotten out of a Lake City prison, and he goes over there, and he obviously couldn't find a girl, so he wanted to do the next best thing, which apparently was like a bunch of tissue stuffed into a Gatorade bottle with some Vaseline, and the bottle broke on him, so it shattered all across his penis.
Oh,
damn.
Of course it
No.
was, and of course because it was in Florida.
most of the stuff comes from Florida.
Fucking Florida, man. I'm telling you.
Fucking
I
Florida.
was gonna say it redefines a banana float.
Cyborg says we aren't falling for a banana in the tailpipe. I think that's
mean-
the wrong end. I think they're using them on the front side
Mm-hmm.
after
Yeah,
the
they
banana.
just use the banana to seal in the gerbil, you know.
Woof.
That's the way to attract it out.
Sorry, guy. I mean, I don't know. I could tame down if you want me to.
No.
It's the woke show.
Yeah, we try to run that line of getting banned from YouTube.
Okay.
Yep.
So this article says sexual peeling. Doctors have warned horny young men to refrain from using banana peels to masturbate. The latest bizarre sex trend circulating on social media. Why?
It is?
I must have missed that part of Twitter, man.
That
I got
passed
my
me right
head down
by.
in
It's
I've got
not
my
on
head down
feed.
in Comicsgate so much that I'm missing the banana jerking
The
off.
sexual innovation. I mean, you know.
I'm gonna have to ask my kid.
Oh, that'd be awkward.
Yeah, that might be a weird conversation.
Son, are you having sex with a banana?
I've heard about these things, and I've noticed bananas have been missing rather quickly.
Oh,
I'm low on potassium. Okay.
oh man.
Why did
A Lasbat says, "Oh shit, my grandson had a banana this morning.
Right?
Find that peel and throw it away."
Don't find the peel. Just leave it.
So I was trying to find some supplemental information, and the first thing I find is a Reddit post says, "Don't make the mistake of masturbating with a banana peel. It simply is not worth it."
Okay.
And that's
Well,
and that's just the TLDR.
So like, just so we cover all our bases, it's not a condom either. Okay, guys.
Yep,
Yeah,
that's a
so
good call. Yeah,
what's the point of the
definitely
article?
would fail as a birth control.
Is this something? Is it dangerous for you?
Well,
Will
let's
something
find
bad
out.
happen? Yeah, let's find out.
Says here, it's the closest thing to a blowjob, wrote one Randy Redditor, who claims he's been doing it for years.
Oh.
However, Dr. Diana Gill of prescription service Dr4U cautions against the perverse practice. You could develop a rash and sores on the penis, which can be painful and might lead to infection.
Whoa.
Not only that, but she claims a person with a fruit or latex allergy could be more susceptible to a reaction from banana skin. I wonder, how does I understand like a fruit allergy. Yeah, you shouldn't be eating fruit, much less masturbating with it. But how does that coincide with a latex allergy? Is there banana residue in latex? I don't know how they make latex.
Latex is a polycarbonate. It's a plastic. So
Yeah, but there's another fruit, another fruit or vegetable that does the same effect. It has one particle that's similar to latex that the people react to, and banana is one of them. Yeah.
Interesting. So
why,
it says,
why does my latex allergic child need to avoid bananas? Here, just keep going. I'll find it.
a person with a banana allergy is more likely to be allergic to other substances such as latex or other fruits and vegetables. Okay, so I guess there's where it correlates. So if you're allergic to latex condoms, you may also be allergic to banana skins.
Oh, it's a protein. It's a specific protein in bananas that is it replicates something that is in latex.
See, we're learning on the Woke Show.
See.
Gill's not the only naysayer. One Reddit user recounted a harrowing cautionary tale where he used a banana skin to masturbate and allegedly ended up falling in the mess I made, hit my head on the toilet, and barely lived to tell the tale. Shut the fuck up.
She told you banana float or banana split. Say what you want. That's what it sounds like.
Now I don't believe any of this now. That's just that quote, falling in the mess I made, hit my head on the toilet, and barely lived to tell the tale.
He slipped on the banana, slipped on it, and fell right in.
Oh my God.
Yeah, okay.
He tripped, slipped, and slipped his dick in. I don't know. It's
It
just
sounds like
whatever.
a Chris Evans death scene in a comic book.
Oh my God, this is fucked up. However, supporters of the organic orgasm inducer feel it's too good to pass up. Subscribers to Jackin' World, the self-proclaimed ultimate male masturbation resource, gave the Banana Man 4.5 out of 5 stars with 359 votes cast so far. The site also provides a tutorial. No, come on. A tutorial on how to perform the act and even advised warming the peel for added effect. So, Red, you're right with the microwave.
Wow. Okay, so I gotta
The
ask
two songs should be come together.
Oh, jeez. So as a scientist, this guy first, the first Reddit or whatever, he's like, oh, this is better than a blowjob or the closest thing. I'm like, what was the process we went through to find that out?
Well, the trial and error, of course.
I mean, did we have a control and an experiment group? I mean, a placebo? What went into that?
Let's
Ishmael
experiment.
Kipurko says, "What's this?" Well, this is degeneracy at its fullest, sir. Good morning to you. Thank you for joining us.
Should point out that this is not for children.
Nope, I clicked that box.
Yeah, okay.
He's like, I made sure.
This show is not for children. This channel is not for children, period. But yes, not for kids. Well, maybe it is for kids. Don't use banana peels. Just
Is this
jerk
PSA
off
right here,
your
man?
Fashion
This is a
way.
PSA.
Yeah. This is what's wrong with the kids these days, man. Kids these days.
Cyborg says, was this a government-funded experiment?
Could have been. This is your tax dollars hard at work.
Oh.
Yeah, banana peels, warm banana peels, plantains. We wanted to check that, right? And then like blowjob from both men and women, because they had to figure out which one was better, right? I mean,
wow,
this is scientific stuff.
I'm expecting Ishmael the next thing say, "I'm 12. What is this?"
He said, "Oh shit, I'm on the wrong account." So I don't know who he really is. When he switches over, maybe we'll.
Do we have a docs? Is that what happened?
I think it's funny because, like, okay, occasionally for many years, I'm now 78. I'm like, oh.
Anon says, "I'm tossing the fruit bowl out now."
I mean, better safe than sorry. Evil fruit.
Oh yes, good.
Hashtag fruity mess.
Is anybody here as old as me who knows who the Dead Milkmen are?
No, I don't know, but it just sounds funny.
Dead Milkmen smoking banana peels in between meals. It was a single, punk rock band, South California.
Okay, I knew I heard of that before, but I was like, I'm not familiar with it.
You know, like, Xevious talks punk and nobody understands him. So, I mean, if any of you do, thank God. I mean, thank goodness for you.
There's no punk rockers in Comicsgate. I'm trying to. I want to change that.
He'll turn around and be like, "Yeah, but they're no Joy Division." I'm like, "Yeah,
no punk."
Well, Joy Division, they got one album out, and the singer was dead before it even was released, if I remember correctly.
Give or take, yeah. They did. I think they did 4 albums, but he was done by the time the last one came out. So yeah, it was it's dark, too dark for Saturday morning, man.
Well, you got people in the audience, dude, that are like, "I understand you."
Okay, good. Hey, there you go. Ismail Tiburcio says, "Punk rock girl, you're for me, Ismail." That's the song. It's good shit. Go Google it.
I'm writing it down.
We're off the banana road here.
Well, that might be for the best, honestly. Finishing off here, it says, commenters seconded these sentiments. I have used the banana skin technique occasionally for many years now. I'm 78.
There's a technique.
This dude's 78 and he's been jerking off with a banana skin for years. So maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's not the kids these days. It's these fucking degenerate old people.
Well,
does it matter if you open it from the top or the bottom? Better or something? Like, is it more resistant?
I mean, do you just kind of go all in? I mean, is it like a vertical kind of thing, or do you wrap it around the shaft? Use it like a.
I'm not following the Jack and World link to tutorial because we will get banned.
I'll do it. Give me a minute.
Are we gonna look at that tutorial?
I'm not gonna look at the tutorial. I want to know these reviews.
Yeah, I thought that too, Red. He's like finishing off. I was like, that's apropos.
Yep. Banana peels aren't the first unconventional items employed by pleasure seekers. This past November, gynecologists warned women not to masturbate with electric toothbrushes because it can cause trauma to the delicate vulval area.
All right.
Fair enough.
There's the article. All right, let's go.
Just butcher knives aren't that great either.
Yeah. While we're throwing stuff out there, butcher knives bad for you.
Yeah, don't do that.
Anything with sharp edges.
Chainsaw can be dangerous.
Oh, this is just like there's no pictures. It's just reviews. I mean, thank God.
You
sounded disappointed, bro.
Okay, as a scientist, okay, what are they reviewing?
Let's see. Okay, I got to read this one if you don't mind.
Please do.
OMFG. I just did this and it felt so damn good, and I had an orgasm in about 2 to 3 minutes. I mean, that's just normal, right? Right. After starting OMG, it felt so good because it was amazing. Anyone that reads this, try it. Trust me, it feels so good. P.S. I used an old banana. Oh, God, here we go. I used an old banana just to get some black stuff on my penis.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Please. So I recommend
there are some interesting people out there. I'm just saying.
Well, using a new banana, you don't want the black stuff. In my opinion, the older ones and the black spots outside, they feel better. And this one's by The Red Gaze. Oh, now we know.
Hey, guy, that banana's not ripped.
Well, you know what they say.
That banana's not ripped. Oh, I'm about to rape it, though.
Pictures or GTFO, right?
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
Sounds crushed. I mean,
I got tears coming out of my eyes. This is fucked. I was not expecting this to go this way.
Well,
sorry.
Now here's the best one. Just very quick sentence. And I thought this was my idea. LOL. He thought that this one guy thought he was original, and in fact,
That's like a meme right there.
yeah.
See, this is proof of the shared subconscious. When you've got multiple people who think they're the first person to masturbate with banana peels.
Dude, ever since you popped that out, I had that song in my head, and it's like peanut butter jelly time. Where are you at? Where are you at? Do you think that's
Are
where
you
it
thinking
came
about
from?
masturbating with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich now? I don't think that's good either. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, with a baseball bat.
I don't know if I'll be able to eat a banana ever again.
Oh, dude, it's weird.
You know, I actually do have low potassium, and I'm gonna have to at some point. So, but the peel is gonna be, exposed of or disposed of really fast.
Right, you just like de-peel that banana, throw it away, and just be like, "Ugh, you dirty whore."
Now you're gonna feel dirty as soon as you're gonna.
Yeah.
Throw that condom. Yeah.
See, now I'm genuinely curious at this point.
How does that work?
I don't know. I might want to know more. And I'm not allergic to bananas or latex. So, Yeah, we'll see.
No.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go to the bar and pick up a girl.
Yeah, that's probably a better idea.
Red Gaze says, "Where's Banana Boy for this conversation?" Yeah, we should have got General John Wallace to come on and talk banana masturbation, since he is the Banana Boy.
Mm-hmm.
I think I think I talked to him before. He was he wants to be like the next Stephen King.
General John Wallace.
Yeah, but it's a guy I'm thinking about. I may be wrong.
Yeah, no, you're talking about Nasser. Nasser wanted to be the next Stephen King.
I don't want to speak ill of anyone.
He can't even be the next. Nasser can't even be the next Stephen Smith. Sorry, I'll say it. I don't give a fuck. I'll say.
Chris Evans says, "Why wouldn't they just use a fleshlight or something like that?" Because obviously
they
fleshlights are expensive.
It's organic and it's natural, and it's like
You're not going to use the peel anyway.
Is this like a vegan fleshlight? Is that what we're going at?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is for those all natural people. Ugh.
Are the kids doing that Amish or something? That's not why they can't have technology or something.
Well, apparently this is like old folks doing this, because the one guy that they quoted was 78 years old.
Jesus.
Yeah, but that one on the picture looks young as hell.
That's what happened when they limited. They like stuffed your urges, under their Puritanism, right? They're like, no, you have to. You can't do this. You can't look at women. Ankle high only.
This could have also just been a troll where somebody said we told them wrong as a joke.
I mean, it could be, but stupidity is pretty rampant in the human race.
And somebody actually tried it, and they're like, "Wait, it worked."
I'm sure you guys saw the movie "This Is the End," right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, man.
That so reminds me of the end. Like, who came in my magazine? I'm gonna come everywhere. Everywhere.
Okay.
On the bathroom, on your. Oh yeah, it's a fun scene. It's funny. All right.
I love you acting it out. Please do more. So the next article that I came across is actually pretty old, but it's still pretty damn funny. And I'm one of those that I'm terrified of Australia. It's just it's a terrifying country in my
It's the
mind.
koalas, right? They're
It's
savages.
everything. It's everything about that country. They've got their bats are like the size of dogs.
Again?
Oh, I knew it would be spiders. Oh my
Okay,
god!
but again? Like, what did you leave it out there? I mean,
Yes, spider
here's
bites
again,
Australian man on penis.
Black widow spider
yeah.
web, not a good place to stick your dick. Just saying.
Yes, this is you thought bananas were weird. Spider webs, that's where it's really at.
Well, it's so silky.
A 21-year-old Australian tradesman has been bitten by a venomous spider on his penis for the second time. The man was using a portable toilet on a Sydney building site on Tuesday when he suffered a repeat of the incident 5 months ago.
What is he eating? Okay.
Okay.
What's he eating?
Jordan, who preferred not to reveal his surname, said he was bitten on pretty much the same spot by the spider. I'm the most unlucky guy in the country at this moment, he said.
I think he's the most lucky guy in the country to be alive.
Yeah.
So the same spider, same spot.
Well, not only that, I mean, he's literally biting him in an organ that's tied directly to his bloodstream, and he's not dead. And it's still there. Why is it? How is it still? I mean, Jesus! Like most of the venomous spiders in Australia that are really bad are what is it like the brown recluse, like the neurotoxin? You know that literally strips away the flesh. It's septic. So it's like really.
Yeah, it's called a litrotoxin
And
for black widows, and
they forget to say, and his dick fell off.
Yeah, right.
I don't think he'd be saying. I don't know. I don't think I would do an interview if I lost my penis to a spider bite.
Do you think that's going to be the origin of the true Spider-Man?
That's what I was looking for. Thank you, Red Valkyrie.
So is Redback synonymous with Black Widow? Because that's what we call them in North America mostly. Do you guys know? It looks like a Black Widow, but maybe it's not.
It is a Black Widow.
Yeah, it pretty much is. Yeah.
So
Redback? It's the Australian type.
Okay, I'll look that up. Sure.
And it's probably like twice as big because it's in Australia.
Exactly. Yeah, it's probably the size of your hand.
Apparently, it's a relative of the Black Widow.
Okay.
Scarlett Johansson bit his penis twice.
I mean,
nice.
What?
Black Widow.
I know, got it.
Thank you, Aaron.
I mean, if you're gonna have a Black Widow,
I'm hilarious.
If you're gonna have a Black Widow bite your penis, I mean,
that'd be the one I'd
Might as well
want.
be
Yeah.
Scarlett Johansson, yeah.
Of course. And if the price of getting Johansson to play is to have a spider bite it, well, I'm sure.
I don't know, man. Like all the way through, I'm not down with that. Like nibble, if we're going to nibble, I'm all right with that. But...
You said bite all the way through, and I got chills all the way up my back.
Yeah, that's bad.
It's like I'm like I'm not. No, I don't want to.
If you're gonna
I don't
do
want to force
something, do it all the way.
How can you have a ghost pain on something you've never known? It's like it hurts just thinking about it.
So this guy, he goes on to say, I was sitting on the toilet doing my business and just felt the sting that I felt the first time. I was like, I can't believe this happened again. I looked down and I've seen a few little legs come from around the rim. The rim of his dick or the rim of the toilet?
Like I don't know, man. Like
every time I look around,
I would if that had happened to me once and in a portable toilet no less before, I would walk in there, open anything up, and clean everything out from the under it before I even started.
Oh my God, yeah. I don't care how much of in a hurry I was. I would take all the precautions in the world.
I mean,
yeah.
That's just weird. I mean, that was the first thing that caught me, like, again,
Yeah, the second time, and this.
Maybe it was the same Black Widow. You ever think about that?
Yeah,
that's what I was. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It was the same spider. It was on the same job site.
That's all I was saying. Love is in the air.
What was that dude's name again?
This guy, he just said Jordan.
Okay, so it was like, he gets bit again, and the spider, when he saw the spider actually, because he couldn't understand him, because the spider, and he was saying, "Thought I forgot about you, Jordan." and he pointed at him like,
So, what do you guys think?
You didn't die the first time. I'm getting you this one. So there's probably a third time coming.
I mean,
third time's the charm,
right? It's like, oh, he came back.
So I think this is probably a case of really bad karma. This guy he did something.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
needs to align his karma because he has done something deserving of getting bitten by a poisonous spider on his penis twice.
Right? Like he's the kind of guy that get in the ocean and the dolphins attack him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's like maybe he suffocated a kitten or did something weird like that. You're 21, you've been bit by a spider on the dick twice. That's
you're one of the people that said like do you like button kitten like that?
Yeah,
what's that?
Something like that must be like getting hit by lightning at this point, right? It's so fucking.
Yeah,
absolutely. 1 in a billion.
You're either like really, really not lucky, or in this case, maybe he considers himself lucky. I don't know, but damn.
He said that being bitten the first time had made him wary of using portable toilets. After the first time it happened, I really didn't want to use this one again. Toilets
Again?
got cleaned that day, and I thought it was my opportunity to go use one.
I would have not been able to do it from the first go after. I would have been traumatized the rest of my fucking life.
Yeah, I'd be like, boss, I need to go to the local Starbucks and use the John.
I don't know. I would have had a bag stapled to my ass. I don't know. Just anything.
Wow. The tradesman said he was not sure what type of spider bit him this time. One of his colleagues took him from the worksite in northwest Sydney to Blacktown Hospital, although many of his workmates were quick to see the lighter side of the situation. They got worried the first time, he said. This time they were making jokes before I was getting in the car. The hospital declined to discuss the matter, citing patient privacy. Jordan was released from the hospital and said he expected to return to work soon, but was unlikely to be using the on-site toilet. Really, yeah, don't use that toilet anymore, dude.
Yeah, at this point, you might just go in a bush, right? You're better off. I think.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Like, just sit down in the woods.
Your chances increase, I think, at that point.
I think I'll be holding on for dear life, to be honest, he said. And yeah, it does say here the redback spider, closely related to the black widow spider, is distinguished by a long red stripe on its abdomen. This bite causes severe pain, sweating, and nausea. Although there are recorded cases of deaths from redback bites, none have occurred since the development of antivenom in 1956. Oh, this poor soul.
Oh,
That's his letter. You know in that line from Die Hard 2, where he's like crawling through the air ducts in the airport, and he goes, "How does the same shit happen to the same guy twice?"
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Well, let's send our wishes to our Australian brothers. We have a few. I work in Sydney as well myself, some of the time.
Don't use an outdoor John.
Yeah.
No, never again.
Like I said, I'm terrified of Australia because all the creatures they're basically what we have here in America, only
Bigger
they're
and-
10 times bigger.
and more dangerous. Yeah.
And usually more dangerous.
Now, here's the thing. I always say this because, as they say, the Australians, basically they start off as prisoners. They were prison colonists.
Right. Well, so was America.
Well, yeah, but follow me here. So
Okay.
we sent these people, or they sent these people to this country, to this landmass to die, right? They said everything's going to fucking kill these people. So, this is the best punishment we can think of. And they lived. I'm not fucking with any Australian.
Oh, that's right. Those badass motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, coffee's here. I'll be back in a sec.
No, you look at the most perfect looking woman in the world. Like, would I be wrong to say like Margot Robbie? Possibly. Like, that's evolution. Like, her family survived 20 generations of snakes and sharks and spiders to be that good looking, to get to breed and make the rest of the people who live there now.
No shit.
So are you saying that it takes like a dangerous land to make a beautiful woman?
Yeah, actually I am.
Huh. Interesting theory.
I just made it up, but yeah, I think so.
He's like, I just made it up now, but
yeah,
I think it warrants further study at the very least. Yeah.
I think so.
We'll look into that. Yeah, I'll get
we
on
should
that.
what, like make America a shithole and then see how many beautiful chicks we can get?
Yeah.
I mean, we're already on our way, I
hey,
feel
man.
like.
Yeah, I was about to say it's on its way.
Yeah. Hail to the newcomers in the chat. We've got Perth Comics, Hail, 8-Bit Elvis, Nella Possessed, Mr. Yonafui, what's up? And it looks like you have a hater in the chat there, buddy.
Oh, you
The
do?
Fuzz
I know, right?
is-
Buddy Love equals Dr. Right. Cool. You missed it, man. We already said that.
So let's we'll switch to the comic book topic. We've got your book here that you sent me some pictures of, and I am boomering through pulling them up.
Hey,
Where to go?
buddy, do you want to talk about this? You want to talk to the Fuzz while we're bringing this up?
I don't know what to
Address
say to
that?
him. He's just like, my name's gay. That's cool.
Okay, but your mother gave you the name Buddy Lord. Am I not mistaken?
Yeah, I mean, I posted yesterday like the top of my ID. My name is Buddy William Lord. That's just my name.
Okay, that's cool. It's up for discussion. It's interesting to me.
Yeah, actually, I honestly like no burn intended, but I didn't expect that to actually be your name. Like, there's not a whole lot of people legally named Buddy out there.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's like I come from a Southern family, okay, that grew up in Georgia and Florida, and my dad wanted to call me W. He wanted they always called my grandfather WC, and they wanted me to have a similar name, BW. So they'd already named me William Lord, and they just threw on Buddy because that was, I guess, my cousin was already Bobby, and somebody else was already Bartholomew, so they put Buddy.
Mm-hmm. You know what's really sad about that? the initials W and C are very common in the South. I knew at least 3 where I live.
Oh, I'm sure.
It within my 5-mile radius. That tells you how common it is.
Yeah, you Southerners are something else.
Yeah, we're an interesting breed.
So there was, I did notice that there was a bit of, I hate to use the term drama, but you got some negative attention yesterday on Twitter about, it wasn't this book, was it?
No, it was Sway. I mean,
Okay.
you can if you want to go to bladeknight.com, there's pictures of both that are alternating. So it's up to you.
Let's see here. So are you putting both these books out at the same time?
Yeah. I mean, what I want to do is put them both out. I want to actually put one of them in Kickstarter, one of them in Indiegogo, and then switch is what I'm looking at. I know a lot of people are against that, but I'm going to talk to Don Tucci, and he's like, it might work. And I've been working on both of them for about a year and a half in different ways. But this is Sins of the Fae, which is basically just about a mom who gets cursed. And when she gets cursed, the thing that is hunting her actually goes after her children. So she has to learn how to use magic to defend herself.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I really like the logo.
Am I misspelling Blade Knight?
Bladenite.
Well, let's stay on this.
I am. Okay.
Let's talk Sins for a while. This is this is the cover we're going to do. We're talking about 2-color with foil, hardcover. And I mean, what I've done for a living for the last 20 plus years is typography. This is my logo. This is how I first met Buddy.
Mm-hmm.
And then developing this stuff and doing art direction. And we've had a really, really good response to this so far.
Yeah,
I mean, I haven't go ahead.
I was just saying that's a sweet logo.
Oh yeah,
thanks, man.
He made one, and I said, and I shared it with some people. I came back and said, this looks like a shampoo label.
What, this one does?
No, fuck no.
No,
man.
another one. That he
Oh,
did.
I was like, man, what kind of shampoo do you buy?
Yeah, pretty cool shampoo, probably.
Yeah.
Sins of the Fae. Gets out your dandruff.
Yeah.
All right. That's a great shampoo.
Yeah.
I've been
Wash
trying
away your sins with Sins of the Fae.
That's funny, actually.
That is good.
But no, it's
Aaron is funny every once in a while.
He's allowed one.
He is allowed one. So let's look at some of these interior pages. Who did Xevious, you did the colors?
Yeah, exactly. So as you bring him up, the artist, his name's Hosann, so at Hosann Art, and he's fabulous. I think he's one of the best guys in Comicsgate. And I'm classically trained as a painter, so I think I take colors a bit further than some people do. And we've got a really good synergy. So I just kind of I take stuff pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, I think we've developed a system that's a bit different than maybe a lot of other people do, but because of that, we've come up with a different product. And what I mean by that is like most of the guys, like, they write a script, right? And then they're kind of controlling about what is translated by the artist on that script. I'm not. Mm-hmm. I write a script, I give it to Hosann. Hosann has a better visual understanding than I do. So he comes back with what he does, and I say, okay, I'm going to rewrite my script to the feel of this page.
Yep.
And what we get from that, I believe, is you get a feeling on every page. You get like an emotional payoff on every page and every panel. And when we actually break this down into a digital format, we're going to we're actually going to break it down in vignettes, so it's easier to be looked at on a phone. It's not just going to be a translation of the page itself. It's going to be something they can see on a phone, and they get everything out of it, and it's amazing in every bit. And that's the kind of work that we put into all this, into everything that we do. So it's like, that's my thing, is there's a payoff on every page. You don't wait for the action to start. It happens everywhere.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say that, what it's really about though, is this being, this is a graphic novel. I think we've elevated a bit more from a comic because it's more art per page than just flat colors.
No, I mean, this, your coloring is it's quite astounding.
Thanks, man.
It's got a lot of different textures and mixtures in there.
Yeah, I mean, I just call it. I mean, what he does is a little bit more, I guess, artistic than a lot of other comic book artists do. But I think it lends itself well to the story and to the way we do everything. So,
well, I mean, I ran a skate snowboard clothing company for a long time before I got into advertising, and my degree is in print design. So I look at when I look at a page and I start coloring it on top of the lines, I'm thinking about process colors, so cyan, magenta, yellow, black. And it's not red, it's not blue. It's like I'm trying to think ahead what it's going to look like when it's revealing the white on the page. And I think it's a bit of a different shift from some of the other stuff out there. That's all. So, and people are liking it. I hope it's I hope that's going to make us a little bit different.
It definitely has a bit of a different feel to it than what you normally see come out. Perth Comics wants to know, does this book contain wolf milk?
Yes.
Sure. You know what? I'm not a wolf. I'm the carnivore incarnate, but I do keep the company of wolves.
I'm a huge fan of Malin, and I did. In fact, I pitched him a wolf milk logo a few months ago for Eric Weathers' book. They didn't use it, but I got a bunch of likes and tweets on that. So yeah, there's wolf milk in here for sure, in spirit.
In spirit, cool. Yeah. Yeah, so here's another one of the interior pages that you have lettered. Beautiful splash page here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, this is Nikki, who's going to be the main character in the first book, Nikki Caramore, and Granny, who is only ever going to be in the first book, because the whole idea is in this, and that's why I wrote. It's about 13 pages, and it's more or less the handing. It's the passing of the torch. It's and this is that moment where he's like, but it's her turn now. She's the hero.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I hope you guys dig this. This is
that. I like the art. I like the colors.
Yeah, I think
I really like the colors.
This is the first page I did with Buddy. This goes back about 3 months, maybe 2.5 months. And Hosann just did such a fucking awesome. Can we swear on the show? Forgive me.
Oh yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Just the dynamism of it. So I sort of brought out the blues is where the magic is, and then the yellows and the red, because there's this whole thing with fire engulfing. They sort of have this enclave or this enclosure where they're safe, and the next 2 pages it turns out it's not safe. And then we sort of locked it down just maybe yesterday, the day before, that she has silver hair and silver eyes, and then they energize when she starts to use magic. Her eyes turn this glowing blue. And again, I think I hope you guys like the way this stuff looks. It's different. It's very bright. It's very intense.
It is. This page here, I really dug. I stared at it for a while. Sorry, StreamYard is not very quick when you screen share page for page.
That's a lot of people's favorite page. That's when you kind of see the barrier beginning to shatter up top, and you saw like with one dude, the big ghoul is what I call him, through the other one that's got the green stomach. And then that destroys the barrier. And as the barrier breaks, they look up and, Granny's like, damn it all. I thought I could protect her one last time.
Cool. So what do you have planned for this book? How many pages can we expect to see?
I mean, right now I'm started 48. That's the minimum I want to do. I'd really love to do 60 or maybe even 100, just depending on how much it makes. This is based on a novel that I wrote, and I've got this. If I go to 100 pages, it's not going to be any more than 4 chapters. I have 17 chapters in the first book, and there's 5 books. So I've got plenty of material.
So this is definitely something that you do multiple volumes of.
Yeah, we do multiple volumes. We want to go hard. We want to go hardcover. I mean, X has got about 24 years in the printing business. I mean, what did you say, X? Because you explain it way better than I do.
Well, no, I mean, it's about 23, 24. I mean, I did advertising agencies until I moved to San Diego about 4 or 5 years ago and got involved with the Eisner Awards. And I just sort of looked at my life and said, everybody else is having more fun than me and making more money than me in comic books. So I really focused. I mean, I was listening to Ethan going back about 3 years ago, just, drawing tips, shopping for art supplies. And I didn't put 2 and 2 together until a little while ago. And I got back on Twitter, got onto Twitter basically, 11 months ago. And I'm all in. I do this stuff full time. So I'm doing design for covers. I'm doing coloring. I'm doing logos. I'm doing whatever I can. I've got 3 videos on the go right now for some big campaigns. I work with Geeks and Gamers. I work with Ethan. I work with a couple things that aren't released yet. So, but what I've got is a couple decades of doing stuff corporate, annual reports, manuals, some pretty fancy stuff, some big budget things. But I want to take what I know from that industry and put it into comic books now. And so far, so good. Again,
yeah, I mean, we want to elevate the crafts of storytelling and art by creating the next American fairy tales and, doing that through graphic novels, through comics. We want to elevate everything.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, I mean, It seems like you guys had a good head on your shoulders. You got good plans. So you mentioned that you were going to do each of these books on a different platform. Which platform is this book going to be on?
It's going to, they're both going to be on both eventually, but this one is going to be on Indiegogo first.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. And you have a launch date?
March 13th.
Okay. Very good. Mailing list set up or anything like that?
I do. I have, you can go to bladeknight.com and that sets up a mailing list at MailChimp. I also have a pre-launch campaign on Indiegogo. Pre-launch page on Indiegogo for both Sway and Sins of the Faith.
And hey, are these both on, I was on a dirty word, but are we on Indicron as well right now?
We are on Indicron.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Yeah, so I get on that subject. You guys were you both involved with Indicron or?
No, it was just me. I was involved with Pixel asked me to come in and help promote books and do some stuff. And so we did. And then we brought, I kind of brought Jean-Luc Mazel for a while. He came in and he was sort of the ringleader for a while. And then Pixel began to disagree with some of the decision-making processes that were going on. And then in the midst of that, Doug wanted to burn it down to Naples.
Oh, yes, we all remember that.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of us remember that anyhow.
Yep.
And so he came hard after me, came hard after Pixel. I mean, he and Pixel were like literally like they live in the same town, and or one of the houses that Doug has is in Pixel's town, and they were literally like buds. And then he just ghosted him.
Yeah, Doug's not the best company to keep.
So
I mean, we're like, if we want to jump into it, I'm not sure about the nature of this show. There's a few people watching, but a lot of stuff's gone down in the last few months, and I'm going to defer to Buddy because, frankly, I work for Buddy. I'm the colorist, I'm the art director, and we started something up called. Do I want to go there? But
yeah, go for it. I mean, because I feel like if we can clear the air on anything, please let's do that.
I think so. Yeah, I appreciate it. And that's kind of why we decided we wanted to start doing some of the stuff this week. But, we tried something called Insider, and that imploded because there was some administrative fuck ups. Something happened with, again, I don't follow this stuff as close as I should, but who's that? I was furious about it, but that Pocket Jacks guy, what's his name?
Preston Poulter.
I mean, when we built Insider, we agreed that we were going to let anybody come on from any side. And then we wanted everybody to be able to come in and talk. And if you had a disagreement, you could have it. But we thought it'd be like amicable, like the old Parliament. And that was a mistake. It was wrong. Yeah. Some people are just entirely too destructive. And you can't do that.
My book, Cybershock, was featured on Insider.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Who was it? V-Slayer.
V-Slayer.
Yeah, Stephanie.
Stephanie
Yeah.
Lampron.
Yeah, she's awesome. We loved her, you know, and I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, we wanted to market anybody, to push anybody, and it was like, okay, the bigger you make the platform, the bigger like you make everything, right? And the better for you. And that was the whole goal of it. But it just degenerated into like a lot of like kind of hand fighting, and you know, this side and that side not agreeing with one another. So I'm out of here. And then at the end, it was just like 2 or 3 of us trying to write an article every once in a while and keeping it up. And it was actually doing pretty decently. It had over 1,000 unique visitors a day. And it got more when I wrote an article. Because apparently I didn't even know that apparently like Bleeding Fool, Bounding into Comics and stuff like my articles. And I was like, cool. That, you know, that's nice to know. But then we couldn't look over it. We had an incident with, I don't know if you guys know Renault.
Mm-hmm.
Renault like approached me and said, hey, I want to do articles for Alterna. I'm like, sure, I don't see any problem with that. So he had blocked the editor that we were using at the time because that person had blocked him. And I was like, all right, well then I'll deal with you personally. No problem. Right. Let's just get around this. I haven't blocked you. You haven't blocked me. I'll deal with you personally. Because, you know, in those WordPress sites, like you can set people up as a contributor, but you as an administrator have to publish it. So I was like, yeah, no problem. I'll handle you personally. No big deal. And then I couldn't keep doing that. So I gave it to, or I just didn't have time to deal with everything. So unfortunately, I let my cousin handle some of the editing and administration. And my cousin allowed Preston to do some articles and allowed some other thing. And he published one article that was just really defamatory. And I was literally out of town when that happened. And I'm looking at my phone and going, what the fuck?
Yep.
And I was like,
and dude, and I saw
was
that.
like, what is this about? Who what happened here, man?
Yeah.
And so, we took responsibility. Go ahead, X.
Yeah, no, and I saw that. It was like 5 o'clock in the morning, my time. And I saw it, and he called out Tug on something. And I was like, this is not cool. You got to like nuke this article right now. And in no time, it was just like, okay, we just can't be part of this thing anymore. Because for me personally, I mean, I represent Geeks and Gamers. I represent, I work with Ethan, work with whatever. I've got 7 or 8 books now. I think I've got a new one. I think I have one more. Just came in yesterday. And any of that kind of bullshit that's anti-CG, I just can't be part of that. So
yeah, and we didn't want to be anti anything. We want to be for the customer, for making great comics, for great writing, for great art. But I don't want to be against anything really. And I was like, okay, well, unless they're against me. But at that point, I was like, all right, I mean, we're just gonna have to trash it. Like it's become like an infected arm. We're gonna have to cut it off.
Pretty much, yeah.
And so we talked to Pixel, and Pixel agreed that it had strayed away from the vision and just wasn't what we wanted it to be, and we cut it.
Interesting. Yeah, because
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
This is just a question. That's all.
Go ahead. Yeah.
This doesn't. There's no motive behind this. Just a question. Was Insider part of, or was it associated with IndieCron, or was it its own separate thing?
Insider was its own thing. It was always built up to be, but I mean, Pixel and I are friends. Like, we're really friends. And so we wanted to help each other. I support IndieCron. I support CG only. Look, we got less than 1% of the total business in comic books. Okay. So that's 99.5% of the customers out there that we can reach. Beyond that, the comic book industry is 1 billion. The movie industry of comic books is 47 billion. So there are $47 billion worth of people out there that you have access to. I'm not in competition with anybody. This is a blue ocean. Swim where you want.
Pretty much, yeah.
Well, I think that's very well said. I thought it was, the formation of CG only was essentially the response to them wanting to take IndieCron and open it up to, all indie creators. When it first started, that's where you went for your Comicsgate books, to see what was launching, when it was launching, how it was doing. And when they decided to take that in a different direction, that's when the guys in War Campaign were like, well, we'll do our own CG only site, and
Yeah, I think that's
that way
great.
people can have, if you just want to buy CG books, then by all means, that's your prerogative. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with that at all. I mean, the issue is just like what you're talking about. The delineation right there was already kind of ambiguous, because you're saying it was CG only, but at the beginning, John De La Rose was CG, but a lot of people don't consider him CG now. Same with like Nasser and everything. So that first list, he had already had connections that said they were, and now people were like, oh, but they're not. Okay, but who makes that decision?
Yep.
Yeah, and I think if I'm not mistaken, CG only actually has a board of non-War Campaign people that kind of flesh out and decide, okay, is this person really Comicsgate? Are they just saying they're Comicsgate? Because going back to Preston Poulter, you had him on John Malin's show multiple times, and he was up Ethan's butt to get on Comic Arts Pro Secrets all the time. And then, so it just, all it took was one question about Comicsgate, and he was like, well, no, I'm not Comicsgate. And then, everything kind of unraveled from there. And then we've seen the emergence of the Preston Poulter that we see now out there trashing CG at every turn and making videos and using your platform for defamatory articles and this and that.
And I mean, like, honestly, Preston, like, for what, if he ever watches this, for what I gave you, for the opportunity I gave you, like, fuck you. Because I put in a hell of a lot of work to have that done, and for you to take that boon that I granted you and do that, like, no offense, but you didn't deserve, I mean, all this started because you were begging Ethan for a chance and he wouldn't give you one. Well, you know what, like, good for him.
Well, yeah, I mean, Preston is the definition of what we consider grifters, somebody who comes in because there's a lot of money in Comicsgate. A lot of people spend top dollar when they back these projects, so it makes sense that you will have these outsized entities see that and go, well, I want a piece of that pie. Well, you don't just get a piece of that pie. You have to be deserving of that pie.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to earn it. I mean, I've read a lot about, like, I read all the time, but I mean, past couple of weeks I've been reading a lot about social psychology and marketing and that kind of thing. And it's all like, I mean, all of like online marketing and everything, it all kind of boils down to the same thing: trust. The equity is trust, right? I mean, that's what we want in people. We want to be able to trust them. I mean, you're giving them your information; they have that on the other side. And so when they make any kind of volition and to say like, oh, that they're untrustworthy, it's difficult to come back from that.
Yes, it is.
So for me, like, where I stand, because I'm sort of the new guy in the business, at least in the comic business, is I stand behind everybody I've worked with. And, I mean, I'm a colorist, I'm a designer, I do mastheads, I do logos. I'm on all sides of the aisle, if you will. And I want to say first up, by the way, just because of what happened with Insider, Preston's an asshole. I would never work with him or speak with him. That's not for discussion. But, I did work with Mike, and I'm proud of it, and we might see it come up in a few months, and I hope it goes well, and I hope it's great. Work with Ethan, work with Geeks and Gamers, work with the Quartering. I don't think that politics are doing us a lot of good, But, like I spoke with Liam. Liam has issues with Buddy, and that's for them to figure out. But I will 100% back Xenotype. I designed the logo. I designed his corporate stuff. I've been part of that, and I'll boost the fuck out of that every chance I get. Because
I'll boost anything I think is good. I mean, Liam looks. Yeah, I mean, X does great work. I mean, Liam's work looks great. I think it's awesome that somebody's trying to break into manga, and well, I mean, other than like Kyung, right? Like Kyung did it with Battle Maiden Knuckle Bomb. He did it. That looked great, but it's great that somebody else is trying to get in there. Just to really quick address something, Dr. Wright, aka Buddy Lord, has been anti-CG for over a year. I've never been anti-CG. I've stood with Indicron, I've stood with CG, I've stood for every project, I've backed many of the projects, I've supported them the entire way. I supported, Chaotic Flux when he was nobody. I reached out to him, individually. I've reached out to most of these people individually. So you can say a lot of things. You can say I made a mistake with Preston. You can say I fucked up with, IndieCron, Insider, whatever. But I've never been anti-CG, and I believe in the purpose of being for the customer, for books, and for your right to have a dream however you want to make it.
I'm glad you addressed that because I've seen that pop up, and I was going to ask you to address it. So I'm glad that you took the time to say that.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get on a so.
No. That's fine. Like I said, I wanted to be able to hopefully clear the air on some of this.
Can I address something too? Because you have asthma and they're calling me a bigot.
I seen that. You guys can have your cat fight somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly. I'm seeing my name popping up in the chat. I haven't looked for 10 minutes. So War Campaign has screenshots. I wonder what screenshots that I was talking to Mike publicly. I don't know. I think Mike
X works with everybody. He's a freelancer. He's got to make money, and he does.
Well,
his
as
thing.
far as I'm concerned, you can work with whoever you want to work with.
Dude, I've never had a job. I kid you not. Since I was like maybe 11 years old, I had a paper route. I went to college, art school, studied typography, design, started an agency. This is what I do for a living. So yeah, this pays my bills. So, if you've got money, I'll work for you. I mean, and no, I wouldn't work for Preston, by the way. But otherwise, we're cool.
Preston's books aren't horrible, but they're not anything great.
Again, I don't want to talk about it. I just mean,
Okay.
See, I think you look at CG. I've always been CG, and I have been for. It was 3 years ago. That's pre-CG. Like when Ethan was just pushing shopping carts around, talking about how to buy sketch pads. I was in, and I was lucky enough to just absolute random luck to find him on YouTube, and then I found Richard. Then I found Jeff and World Class BS, and I kind of jumped ship from advertising corporate to comics. And then anti-CG, that's bullshit. I'm fully in this community.
Oh, good.
I don't know what to say. But if someone says, "Hey, we'd like a book or a video or a logo or a cover or consulting," I'm in. If you're friends with somebody I don't like, that's fine with me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a believer in guilty by association. I feel like there are some people that you just should not associate with, and that's going to raise my own personal red flags. But I'm not of that SJW mindset.
For people, I mean, it's just work.
Yeah,
exactly. I mean, you like Zevia said, you've got bills to pay. Making it as an artist is hard work. I mean, it's hard work as a writer as well. I don't think I'll ever be a full-time writer because, it's just, that's not what's going to keep.
But anybody that's worked a job in his freaking life knows that you have to work with people you hate, and
exactly.
And that's a fair point as well, Sim. I definitely worked with quite a few people that I just can't stand. I just,
I worked with Sim.
And I can't stand him.
I mean, the three of us work together, and we don't really like each other all that much.
Okay, so let me ask you guys a hard question.
You seriously? Sure. I thought you guys liked me. Fuck.
Go ahead, Zevius. You had a hard question.
And I don't want to talk about Doug TeNapel. That's not in my purview. That's fuck that. I got in the habit a couple years ago of listening to, as a Christian, I like listening to cross-examinations with Mike Miller occasionally. It's mellow, and yes, it's boring. Sorry, Mike. I do that once or twice a week. That's it. So should I be kicked out of Comicsgate because I like listening to Mike do Bible talk every once or twice a week?
You can't be kicked out of Comicsgate.
I know.
People need to fucking get this shit straightened out.
Exactly, but I know what you mean. But
you can get kicked out, but you can kick yourself out by being a fucking ass and having CG going. Fuck.
Oh yeah, no, I know, but I mean, if I like to listen to it sometimes and say it openly, which I'm doing right now.
No, you can do that. That's fine.
I kind of like it.
No, I mean, I used to always listen. I shouldn't say always, but like you said, a couple times a week, I would listen to cross examinations because a lot of times the topics were interesting.
There you go.
The fact that he does it every day is way too much for me.
Hell yeah.
But
I used to follow John and Quartered. Yeah.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
just went off the deep end. So did Doug. I don't know. They're just too extreme for me.
I mean, I guess
But my Mike has always been a type of elitist when you think about it, because you have to admit, for the get go, and I've a lot of people been through it. He was the one doing the purity testing in the beginning.
But wait, so
CG.
for
Earned
me,
it.
see that crosses the
We
line.
don't need to get on. We don't need to get onto that because Xevious, he can watch a fucking YouTube show if he wants.
Mhm.
Yeah,
no, that's the guilt by association. You're not guilty
Yeah.
just because you watch a show. Like that's SJW bullshit right there. Like
Yeah, like Adam. I mean, like I talk to Buddy. I mean, we're busy as you could imagine on 2 books, and we talk a couple hours a day probably. And I mean, I think Cecil is hilarious. I absolutely love anything the guys do at 4:00 in the morning with him and Malin, Anna, the Jack Show, and Buddy. I think thinks they're less funny than I do.
I think they're boring. I just can't. I can't.
But
I mean, I respect what they do, and obviously, I mean, they pull in like 20,000 like at a night or something. So I mean, they're good at what they do, right? I mean, they're amazing.
But I mean, like, I think they're hilarious. You think they're boring. We don't have to agree on that in any way.
No, and I wouldn't try to convince anyone like, no, man, they're really boring. Like, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
You don't understand, man. They're boring.
Nerd fight.
I know, right? We all agree that The Last Jedi was shit, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me started on that.
No, man.
I don't know. I really thought it had some high points. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. 100%.
Well, I'm sure you've been wrong before. You'll be wrong. I'm fired. I don't know. I literally, when that movie, I was just a random date, and she liked Star Wars. We went there. All I could do was like bitch and moan at her for 2 weeks about that movie.
It's because the Disney trilogy. I haven't seen the Rise of Skywalker because I'm not going to pay my money to go see it. But the Disney trilogy was made more along the lines for your normie crowd.
Yeah,
your typical cosplayers, moviegoers. They weren't made for the Star Wars fans. I guess you could say that The Force Awakens kind of was in some parts because it hit on a lot of like nostalgia tones, like
sorry,
remember the Millennium Falcon? Yeah,
well,
there it is.
Opinion, it didn't just hit on them; it retold everything.
Pretty much. It's like they're not like Star Wars movie fans, but they're the fandom that got developed by the fans, like the cosplayers. What's the Legion something? I think I don't remember what it is. But
501st. Yeah.
It's all those people at cons that kind of like made a new type of fandom that a lot of them never fucking saw the first fucking Star Wars, and they're like, I'm a Star Wars fan, but they never saw the first ones.
I don't know. So
like,
weird.
Oh, man.
The second movie's so weird it doesn't make any fucking sense.
So I'm 501st Legion, and I've been with 501st for 12 years. And we've raised hundreds of millions of dollars, I believe. And we do visit hospitals.
So it's all your fault. You ruined Star Wars.
No, it's not me, but
someone is to blame for this.
Yeah,
and it's you, Xevious.
Although that would be cool. That'd be a good sort of way to be infamous.
Well,
it was the fault of Xevious.
Can I address?
Yeah, I was just making a joke with the guild by association. You said you're part of it. No, it's our fault.
I got you. That's good.
Yeah, the 501st, like, I mean, that's what, Xevious was probably getting at, is that they went off the rails and they got all like, I don't know, it's like a LGBT, like, brownie selling festival now.
Yeah, it's like the crew here in Montreal. They turn full, yeah.
I swear to God, I'm going to smack some Canadians.
Yeah.
Y'all keep talking and I'm trying to say something.
Well, I mean, I'm half San Diego, half Canada, so whatever, sue me.
No.
100% awful. It sounds.
I mean, the paperwork was in the mail as soon as you said San Diego. I was like, all right.
Yeah. No, he's kidding.
But no, I have to say something. And this is addressing a.
By the way, Optimus, don't you know that when you want people to listen, you have to say Autobots?
Stop cutting him off, damn it!
And he knows I'll deal with him later.
Is that like whips and chains? What the hell? What are we talking?
I mean,
handcuffs
out there.
give him a little verbal beat
bring
down.
out the
That's what,
banana
I'm sorry,
peel,
the banana peel. They got to try that out.
I'll break his back and make him humble. No big deal. But no, addressing something. We were talking. You're talking about Mike and things like that. The problem that I say, and he's got a lot of problems. Let's be honest. But one of the biggest problems, and it even goes with when Adam, you mentioned cross examinations and the drawn and quartered and the auctions. He does everything to excess, right?
Yeah.
To the point of burnout, and that's when if you do too much of one thing too long, it kind of dwindles your audience because it's like not fun.
Yeah, it's too repetitive.
I mean, last night we had 2 auctions going on, right? One had over 900 people at any given time. The other one had 60.
Yeah.
And one, I think the last count I saw, one did $17,000 in business. The other did maybe 100.
Damn.
And I really feel sorry for those artists that were on that show because they could have made real money going somewhere else or even putting it on eBay. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, these are the kind of conversations that I have with Buddy and some other friends almost on a daily basis, where it's like that's their business.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, like, I think Ethan is the funniest person on YouTube, probably. That's why I've been listening for almost 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm Comicscape.
You know what I really like Ethan? I mean, honestly, like Ethan was just drawing, or he was just like drawing the head sketches on the inside of his Chromium covers, I think, yesterday.
Yeah.
For like an hour. And I thought he was super cool then. He was just tame and like completely relaxed and just doing these like kind of like autonomous, like almost mindless sort of thing. And I mean, he was sharing like anecdotal stories. Like he shared this story about that some guy he knew, his girlfriend came in and loved on him. And he's like, man, I tell you guys a cool story and you call me a liar. I tell you all my lame stories and you always believe them. And I'm like, I was like, poor dude. But I mean, I don't know, like that, because I don't know, I like the sort of, obviously, like what we like is to relate to people.
Mm-hmm.
And so in those moments, I'm like, this is cool. He's not acting. He's not putting on a show. This is just him.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, my point was, I don't, and again, art school was 4 years of creating things, and again, illustration, just like what we do with comics. And, you critique people when they ask you to, but like, nobody asked me how to make their show better. So I don't worry about it. So, I mean, if somebody's show is boring, that's their business. I hope they figure it out and get a better show. I hope, Adam, I don't know how many subscribers you have.
What? Sorry, what?
You have.
Oh, my subscribe. I was sorry. I zoned out for a second, and then I heard my name, and I was like, "Oh shit, what?"
Well, cool.
435.
So I hope you figured out how to get like 250,000, like overnight. That's cool. And if you asked me in a DM how to do it, we could talk about it. But I'm not going to go out publicly and say how to make it better. I mean, I don't know. That's not my business, right? So if Mike could be more fun, I mean, fuck. If Edwin could be more fun, good for them. But right now, Ethan and John and Anna and Cecil are really killing it, and both the Jeremys. So that's what I'm going to listen to. But it's not for me to have an opinion about them on Twitter because they're, that's their job, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when it comes to like Edwin, I mean, I saw something about that and something again is like they're tying me to Edwin. I mean, Edwin was part of Indicron for a while. Pixel hired him on there as like the ambassador because he was the voice of everybody for a long time. And then he went off kind of the deep end on like going against War Campaign and everything else. We actually cut ties with him at Insider because he wanted to write a bunch of articles that we didn't agree with. And I haven't talked to him in months and I don't agree with what he's doing. So, but I'm not going to badmouth the guy.
Well, yeah, kind of like what you said. Everybody is entitled to do whatever they feel like doing. I'm not sure the exact reason why Edwin went the way he did, but that's his prerogative. That's what he wants to do. That's fine. He was a growing voice in CG, and he decided that he didn't want to be anymore. My prerogative is to get on YouTube and have some fun, talk about some of these amazing CG projects, and hopefully make some people a couple bucks. You know, I'm not looking for the EVS size channel. I don't have the time to produce such a channel, but I do want a decent amount of subs. So, you know, we got 32 watching right now, which is a pretty good number for a Saturday morning.
Yep.
And that's really all I care about, is I want to get eyes on people that, you know, deserve a little time in the spotlight, because EVS can't promote everybody out there.
And if I may add to that, Adam, you don't know what EVS watches.
Well, that's true. I found out earlier this week that he watches my videos, and I was like, oh, like, oh shit, wow.
Did you know how I found out he watched Graded?
Yeah, you pop on your show.
I was, you know, I was looking at the chat, and all of a sudden, you know, I see this Comic Artist Pro Secret saying, "Oh yeah." And it might have been just one of those days, you know, he might have been drawing, you know, Blood Hunt. I'm thinking, like, here's a guy probably drawing Blood Hunt. He put on a YouTube channel, you know, was talking about Comicsgate stuff, and he found us. You know what I mean? It's like, and then that's how it happened, you know. And I was like, man, that was cool. And then one of my friends was in the chat, and he started teasing EVS. He said, I heard that Comicsgate was ran by this guy named Matt Jarbo, and
oh god.
And Ethan responded, "Oh no."
No, I woke up yesterday morning, and for some reason the first thing I decided to do was to jump over to YouTube, and I normally do not. Normally I get up and I get ready for work, and that's that. But I got up and I jumped on YouTube, and I seen that Ethan was streaming, and the little preview that popped up had one of my videos, and I was like, what the fuck is he's showing one of my videos on air right now to like 700 people? I was like, you know, it was I had a moment, you know. I was like, it was something really, really, really cool. He gave me a nice little shout out, and, you know, said, you know, hey, go over and sub to Art City Comics. I was like, fuck yeah.
Maybe soon he's gonna do like he did with Optimus and just pop into the freaking show and get you to over 1,000 sub in one night.
That'd be really sweet. I mean, I've had Tug on a couple times. Tug's great. I love talking with Tug.
Yep. Tug's very awesome.
Yeah, Tug's
we had Malin on, right?
No, Malin came. We did the Starblades launch for Kyle. We hosted his launch party, and Malin popped on, and
it was a
hung out.
I mean, all those guys, it's kind of amazing how like equitable these guys are. That was one of the things when I went on with Art T-Bear, and after the show, he was like, man, this book sounds really cool, yada yada. But then he was like, we got to talking about CG, and he said, you know, he's like, I've been in, you know, like Rob Liefeld was talking, you know, the other day about, you know, CG not like blah blah blah. I don't want to go into it, but I'm just saying, Art T-Bear was in Image, and what he told me is that I've never seen a community like CG where they want to help each other. He's like, that's never happened before. So I think if you want to hold on to something that CG has, you got a 30-year industry vet, right? Art T-Bear?
Yeah.
Saying he's never seen a community like this before.
Oh, we are stronger than the mainstream. I kept saying it last time. Is like just the fact that we're so many, right? And the fact that we help each other, we're technically a full business just by hold, and we can offer like everything to everybody. Everybody has a selection. The selection is wide, and the fact that we're all cross promoting, meaning people that follow that likes Aaron's book found me too, or the other way around. It's the only way we can beat the big guys, because they have like 25 books a year, and us, the fact that we cross platform and that we all help each other, we're a medium now.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like what is it, like the English Armada versus the Spanish fleet, wasn't it? You know, or Spanish Armada versus the English fleet, and the English were just more mobile, so they could take them down. You know what I mean? And we're able to do that. I also want to address like one of the things everybody says, and I see Huerta, he tries to make it like a kind of a positive thing, saying cult gang because they call us a cult. Okay, I'm going to tell you some other people that were called a cult. All right, you guys know PayPal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, PayPal was started by a guy named Peter Thiel with Alex Karp, Elon Musk, a few other guys. Okay, all those guys own companies now that they help each other with, and they're all worth individually billions of dollars. you know what they called them? The PayPal Mafia, because they all stuck up for one another and helped each other. So I'm going to tell you what a cult is. A cult is any group of people that share a culture. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, we're not drinking Kool-Aid over here, Mike.
No, I drink whiskey.
Yeah.
So, you know,
We're killing
I
ourselves
know a lot of
slowly,
times
I
they
mean-
want to be, they want to be intellectual and say like, oh, you're this because of that. Okay, well, that's the exact definition. And there are people out there, and you know what PayPal Mafia, you know what Peter Thiel, Alex Karp, you know what they stand for? This is how they design their businesses. If you cannot serve the people, if you can't serve the world and make money at the same time, then why bother?
Yep.
That's very well said. I like that. I mean, yeah, this is like Sim said, we're all here to help each other.
But the thing is, it's not just your campaign. I'm sorry, but when I first started talking with Adam, is like he was telling me how him and Nick and all those promoters, they get so involved in promoting our projects that it's like they're part of it. It's like they're part of your team. They're rooting for you. It's like when the book succeeds, they felt like they have a win too.
Oh, for sure.
Well, yeah.
Buddy, you brought up Chaotic Flux earlier in talking. That was one of the early CG books that I backed. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it failed the first time. And he did a relaunch, and we pushed the shit out of that. And I was a nobody at that time. I had less than like 200 followers on
he had
Twitter.
a last minute thing where he just barely made it, and it was great. Like I think he needed 6,000, I believe.
Yeah,
and we pushed him, and I was all over the place, reaching out to people like, hey, promote this, promote that, do this, do that. I was reaching out to everybody, and they were pushing it, and obviously you guys were too, and I think his name's Adrian. I want to say.
No, that's Scott Payne.
Scott Payne. There we go. Scott Payne. I knew it was Payne. So Scott, he worked hard. And he was able to put the book out, and then he got it out really fast. Like he fulfilled that book within like 6 weeks or something. It was a super fast turnaround, and he printed enough to actually go to some conventions and spread the word.
Yeah. Now he's got his second book just launched this week.
Yep.
Off to a slow start, but it's been a busy week, to be fair. I'm going to have him on, I think, next weekend for the Woke Show. So we'll be talking with him. So should be a good time. Because when he launched his first issue, I didn't even have a YouTube platform built at all. I started this, I think in February of last year. Just basically talking to creators and doing this Saturday morning show, having a good time. Talking with fellow CGers about why we're here and what they're doing, and it's expanded. And like I said, now I'm working on 450 subs, which in my mind is great. I'm ecstatic. I'm trying.
Man. You're just gonna keep growing.
Don't forget about the Blood Hunt thing. I failed the first time, and it's with your show, Nick, Red. That dude, we laid out everything, and in 2 weeks I got funded.
Yeah.
Okay, Chief Optimist, but you weren't there when we were planning. We had a specific plan that we wanted to prove that within the 2 first weeks, without knocking at Malin's door, nobody's door, just us and our friends, getting my book funded in 2 weeks, trying to prove the point that we don't need the big ones to make it, and we proved it. And when I went on Malin, we talked about it, and you don't if you launch a campaign thinking that you're going to need to be on Malin or anything to be successful,
or Ethan, or
then you're mistaken, and you're getting here you're gonna bust out. It's not gonna work.
The whole comic book thing. Okay, look, you're whatever you are, writer, artist, whatever. Okay, I'm a writer. I'm the project manager. It's my story. I want to put it out there. Both of them are. And my thing is like, I know I'm gonna make enough money to have it published and to present the product in the way that I want to. That's the most important thing to me. Because if you go in, I mean, it's like, I always tell people like the infinite game, you're looking at like, if you look at the short game, which the short game is, I got to look at this money and that money and be in this group and not that group, then you're going to fail. What is your cause? My cause is to elevate storytelling and art in comic books and in general by making the next American fairy tales. That's what I want to do. Okay. And we want to take it the next level. I mean, Zevius and I have talked about like gamifying digital comics and turning, making them something that like kids would love to play and read and get through. But that would take hundreds of millions of dollars, literally.
Yeah.
For the idea that I have. And so I'm like, okay, but I have a cause. I have a goal. It's way out there. It's preposterous, but it has to be. And that's what you got to do. You got to say like, okay, this is my cause. This is what I want to do. And if I make 30 grand and that's it, and I can put my book out, I'm happy with that.
Well, can I?
Yeah, and every time you get boisterous with here's our 10-year plan. I'm always down to listen to it. But what we will do within the next few months is have the best looking printed, best looking, but flat out the best printed book. And if it's inks or foils or whatever we do, there's nobody else in Comicsgate who has the background of who's done hundreds of books. I mean, I've printed tens of millions of different things in gross volume and shipping and fulfillment. So I mean, this is like, it's a walk in the park for me. So when we finally get to March 13, we can start doing that stuff, fund it, and then deliver it. So I don't know. We shall. We will do that.
It should help you out that you do have the background, in the industry in a sense. So you're not treading, you're not jumping into the deep end. You've already swam the pool back and forth.
No, but
the way to put it. I mean, I talk
to strong words, though.
I talk to, like I'm involved in basically everybody at this point. And but when you say swam the pool back and forth, yeah, for sure. For 2 decades. And I look at people trying to get their stuff together and figure out how stuff works. I mean, I think part of why I started was listening to like your boy Zach going, I'm trying to figure out how to make a file that's this to do this. And it just made me nuts. So I got in touch with.
You got to say though, it's Zach. I mean, the guy eats fish sticks and macaroni and cheese for breakfast. So
Hey, I could resemble that sometimes. All right. I mean,
this would be really cool for you, X. Please do videos about the info like Adam Post and Peter are doing. Yeah, if you could help spread that knowledge, that'd be really cool. I don't know.
Well, we've talked about that. We wanted to do a series of shows. We're starting we did our first show the other day, a new YouTube channel called On Culture. And we're just rebranding as him and me. And we're going to talk about, I think, what did we talk about that first night? It was something about comic books. I can't remember.
Dude, we're both tired. I have no idea.
But we usually don't go on till like midnight because that's when both of us have free time, midnight Eastern. And by the time we get there, we just talk about whatever. But he and I had wanted to talk about like the whole process of going through of the comic books and especially the printing, because that's something that, as you were saying, like he's got that I don't think not many people do.
I just want to say flat out, nobody in Comicsgate knows how to do pre-press properly at this point, or how to do branding and design with, say, trade dressing. In fact, I think you just asked me yesterday what trade dress even means, and this is all stuff that I've been doing since I was forever ago. But say back to Adam, what would you guys want to see? What would be good content that people would want to hear about to make a book?
I mean, basically, like almost everything that you're talking about. If you can give people insight on pre-press and what they need to do to get ready to print and ship these books out. I think that's why we see such a large gap in fulfillment right now, is because you've got a lot of these first timers that they're kind of flailing. And they're figuring it out as they go. But if you could inform people to where they can be prepared to as soon as that campaign closes or goes in demand or whatever, they finish up that last file, they can get it ready get it to who they need to get it to, as far as printing companies, if they're going to use fulfillment centers, which you really I think you only need to use fulfillment center if you've got a large campaign like EVS or, any of those, the big guns, Malin, those guys who have thousands of books, thousands of orders to put together. If you got under 1,000 backers, I think you should definitely be doing it yourself. It's going to save you money in the long run.
For sure.
I mean, it all depends. I mean, you can there's all different kinds of ways to do fulfillment. There's even, I don't know if people know it, but I mean, one of the things we were looking at is you can fulfill through Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
They have a channel that you can fulfill outside of, outside store. You don't have to have an Amazon store. You can just use their fulfillment. It's a little bit more, but it comes to about $2.10 plus your materials. If you have over 500, if you have, or anything over 200 in a month.
But what about the quality of that printing?
Yeah,
well, that's not a printing. That's just pure fulfillment. You'd have it mailed.
Okay.
And then you would have to buy like Gemini mailers or whatever. But they'll put the Gemini mailers together and mail them out for you.
But the part of it that I think is important is that if you're an artist and you've got your black and white, your line work, you're ready to go, and you need to figure out everything. So your covers, your pagination, your signatures, your stock, all that stuff. You get into a really, really deep pool with who you have to talk to. And then you have to basically take, that line work has to be scanned, or if you're digital, you basically put it in a Dropbox at a proper DPI. That goes to somebody else. Like, well, me, I'm on a few books right now. You put that into Photoshop, you do your thing, it gets colored, it goes into Illustrator, it goes vector. And I think Eric Weathers has done this a couple of times. He's talked about it. You do that. That goes into InDesign. That gets paginated. That goes into proofing with PDFs. And then that goes right back full circle as you change things. And then you change all that stuff, compress it, and get it to a printer. So that's a big, big process, which I don't think many people can get their head around without having done it a few times. But I mean, like I say, I've done hundreds and hundreds of books like that. So yeah, maybe we should be doing streams.
I guess we're going to start doing how to print a comic book.
Yeah, but dude, maybe we should. Yeah.
Tommy says, Zevious, if you do those videos, I will tweet those out so much it is not even funny. I am Tonpa2 on Twitter. Oh, dude, yeah. You talk about a hell of a promoter right there. Tonpa is all over it. You do great work, man. Excellent work. I did not know that was you on Twitter.
Yep.
Keep up the good work, man.
Hell, brother.
Yeah. Hey, Tonpa, thank you. I see you every day. I appreciate it. Say hi anytime, and I will tag you next time we do one.
Yeah,
awesome.
Tompa's great.
This has been good discussion this morning. I like this a lot. Aaron, you've been kind of quiet.
Yeah.
I thought he fell asleep.
I got a question for Buddy, actually.
Sure.
Now it's okay if this is private, just say so. But Sway was originally put up on Indiegogo by Joseph White with Liam Gray.
Yeah.
Did you purchase the rights from Joseph?
Alrighty, let's get into this. Okay, so I don't want to badmouth anybody. Okay, so some of this is going to be vague. I don't want to insult anyone or make somebody look bad. All right, so this is what happened last year, or not last year, actually October 2018, and yeah, I have the receipts if it comes to that. I was approached by Joe White to edit Liam's work because Liam was unable to step in front of the camera and sell the book, which was Sway. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, Joe and he approached me. I said, sure, why not? I think I could do that. He wanted me to be the public speaker for it as well. I said, sure, I can get in front of people. I do that, at work, no problem. So we got into that. I started looking at it. I read Liam's script and I felt like I wasn't able to salvage it. So I said, you can't do this, Joe. And Joe said, okay, can you rewrite it? Bear in mind, the campaign was running. So I was like, you want me to write a story right now? And he's like, yeah. I was like, okay, give me a few days. So I literally created an entire story for Sway, including the context of the name, because they wanted to change it. Joe White, I don't know his real name. That's not it. Joe White is he also worked as a grifter on Facebook under the name Patch Silver, selling furry pictures to girls pretending to be a 16-year-old. Okay.
Oh.
And I have.
Did you know that at the time?
I did know that because no offense, but anybody I get in business with, I research. Okay.
No, as you should.
And so when he told me some of these things, I went and looked him up. He's since erased the Facebook, but I do have receipts of some of the pictures he sent to us to show us how he could draw. And I have also, like, he has a Patreon called Patch Silver where he's got Sway. And Sway was supposedly based on his friend Tessie. Tessie's not her name either. Her name's Teresa. But Teresa was a girl that he seemed to have some interest in. He drew a lot of free pictures for, and she didn't share the affections back. I don't know. Like, Liam said she died. I don't believe that, just because I don't believe Joe. Okay. This is what happened, past that was that Joe decided that, or Joe decided that Liam was unfit to continue with the project. So he hired me full time, or he didn't hire me. I wasn't paid anything. It was like an agreement. But then the project fell apart because we got a consultant to come in, and the consultant said, look, it's already October. Sales are only going down, and you guys don't even have a first page. Right. So it was like, okay, we can't do this. So then he decided to cancel it. Since I was part of the project, and I'm not rich, but I'm single and I make enough money for me. Okay. And I volunteered. I said, I will pay what's left, because it was a flexible project. Not everybody refunded. I said, look, I'll pay it, because I thought we were friends. I was like, I'll pay it. And he said, no, I don't want you to do that. You don't have to do that. And then we agreed as like friends to continue the project and like make a new one. And this is when Jean-Luc Maisel came involved as well. And let me tell you something. Jean-Luc Maisel and I may not like each other now, but that man can write, and he can edit the hell out of anybody. He knows what it takes to get something across. And we went through like what I call movie writing boot camp, which is where I would write something and he would send it back to me with enough red ink to sink an ocean or to sink a boat. And I would say, yeah, well, fill the ocean with blood, basically. And I was like, okay, dude. But I took it every day because it made me better. And then when it came to, like, Joe was our artist at that time, and we were continuing with a project. And at some point, Joe produced some work that Jean-Luc didn't like. Jean-Luc gave him, literally, he said, I need you to draw primitives, nothing but primitives. And he had me look up all these anatomical views. And I had to present them to Joe, and he wanted him to draw them like 37 times a morning or something. And then he was supposed to give them back. And Joe was under a lot of pressure. He couldn't handle it. And we were moving forward. And I say we as in myself and Jean-Luc. And Jean-Luc he drew like a 3-piece kind of poster for because we were planning on putting it out. And Joe couldn't create it, so he copied it. And Jean-Luc went nuts. Because the whole reason Jean-Luc got into Comicsgate is he was a movie doc. He was like a script doctor, and he had written lots of stuff, nothing ever under his name. And that was one thing we shared, because I've written poetry, I've written essays, I've written articles, I've written papers for schools, everything, but never under my name. Okay. And so he wanted this to be under his name. And so when Joe was presenting, John's Luke as his, it infuriated him. And he just went off the handle. And at that point, Joe ghosted us for 2 weeks. Okay. I don't know about you guys, but when I'm in business with somebody, if you ghost me for 2 weeks, we're done. I can't, what am I supposed to do?
No, there's nothing you can do. If I go a week without hearing from a business partner, I'd be like, okay, well, I need a new business partner.
Yeah, and that's kind of what happened is I was like, all right, well, I'm just going to move forward. And Jean-Luc and I were friends for a while. And in the midst of this, this was all done in Discord. One of the guys that was in the Discord was Pixel. And Pixel was, pushing up Indicron, and it was kind of like small at the time, and we were trying to make it better. And this is actually when the CG only kind of thing happened, because Jean-Luc said, I think we should go CG only, and that'll make it better for everybody. you know.
Mhm.
And 8-Bit Elvis says, did I reach out to them? Yes, I did actually reach out to them. He had my phone number, my text, my email, and I reached out to every single one of them, and he didn't reply.
Yep, that's ghosting.
So I'm, you know, no offense, but all of you people that don't know anything about this, please stop talking about it, because I'll stop telling the truth about you if you'll stop lying about me. How's that sound?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think people just want the truth. You know, they are hearing two sides of the story and don't feel.
Yeah, no, I completely.
They don't feel like they're getting all the information. Of course, you're going to have friends standing with friends, no matter what is said. So I don't know. This is a touchy subject. This is what started the whole thing yesterday on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult thing. It's not fun, but this happens all the time. I mean, what happened is, and why everybody's coming after it, is because the book's called Sway. The other book was called Sway. And this is what I say about that. And I said it before. Like,
hey, buddy, for a second.
Yes, sir.
I did not follow any of that stuff on Twitter. I don't know what happened yesterday or today about
Oh, that's
that.
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
I had the question because I just had a little bit of contact with Liam at the time that the book was coming out,
Mhm.
and I just remembered the Indiegogo and that it fell apart.
Kickstarter. I think it was a Kickstarter, wasn't it?
It was Indiegogo.
Oh, okay. My mistake.
And I remember it fell apart and why Liam was off of it. I remember, and I talked to Joseph just a little bit. And then when I saw it pop up under your name, I just wondered, how that came to be. So I'm not coming at you from anything that happened on Twitter yesterday or today. I didn't even know they were talking about Sway.
Oh, no, that's fine. I was answering the people in the chat. But I mean, as far as, and somebody's like, I can talk about what I want to. Yeah, you can. Just bear in mind, I don't care. But Aaron, to you, like, I completely, I understand, like, I mean, Liam may be a friend to you or Joe may be a friend to you. I don't know. All I can tell you is that, like, what dealings I had with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have limited dealings with Liam. I like him, but I don't really talk to him that much. And Joseph, I haven't talked to since Sway fell apart, and he probably doesn't even remember me. I just wondered because I saw the book and I liked it, and then I saw it fell apart, and then when it popped back up, I was like, I wonder how Buddy got it.
Well,
so
my book is completely different than his book because, like, I have Liam's script. I have it. If you want me to present it somewhere in public, I can.
No, I'm not trying to get you to do anything. I was just asking, and I said if it was private, it's fine with me.
So your book Sway is a completely different book than.
Yeah, I mean, his book is like, it's a super future thing, and there's the Sway is like a messenger or something. Like I said, they wanted to change the name, and I kept the name because it's cool. Sway is a cool name, and I made the context work within the story. Like, nobody's going to be able to tell you who the brother is, what her name is, what's happened to the world, why there are anthros in it, why is there, like, if you've seen the pictures of it, why are there a broken side, a broken kind of falling down buildings on one, and a like Techno CD Organic or Techno Organic CD Las Vegas New York skyline on the other side? Why is all that? You know who can tell you that? Me, because I wrote it.
Okay, so from what I'm gathering is that all this back and forth and arguing is all a misunderstanding, miscommunication.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's what I said. Like, look, this is a misunderstanding. I'd love to clear it up. Liam doesn't want to come on with me.
Can I jump in for a sec?
Yes, sir.
So I work with Liam as well, and when I got involved with Insider 4 months ago, I fully back Liam, and I talked to Liam a couple times today, just about nothing. This stuff is what happens. Like, and again, I talked to Buddy earlier. I have a deal pending with the CW network right now, and I have one with National Geographic, and I have a script, and I will DM anybody about to make that sound more real than just saying shit on YouTube. But when an idea goes out, it's the guy who figures out how to make it work that gets to go ahead with it.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
by the way, buddy, Liam told me that it was not his project. So I don't think he's trying to claim anything. He told me at the time that everything fell apart that he was working for Joseph.
Yeah, that's sorry to interrupt you, but that's where I was going. The word sway, it's 4 letters. It's a common English word. It's a good name, and that's actually how I got involved in the project because I like the idea of that as a name of a girl, and it doesn't go deeper than that.
Yeah.
It's a cool idea, but the story is buddies.
Okay. Well,
sorry to kill the room.
Satisfied.
No. That's, I mean, you know, it was kind of weighing on my mind as well. And I'm kind of glad that Aaron brought it up because,
me too.
Like I said, you hear
Yeah,
one
I mean,
side
I
of
was
the
gonna-
story. I'm close with Liam. I consider Liam a friend. He's a good dude. He's really creative.
Yeah, me
and
too.
this whole thing started, blowing up when you started promoting Sway, and all these people are saying that, well, you stole his story and this and that. But from what I'm gathering is the only similarities is the title.
Yeah, well, I mean, the similarities are the same similarities that are with Witchblade, that it's a girl with a robot arm, but it's not even a robot arm. Like, again, like, I don't know. Other than kind of that's it.
The story synopsis I saw was completely different than the one that was on the Indiegogo. So
Yeah.
Same here.
Mikey said it perfectly here. Moving forward, just create, for fuck's sake, cut the beefs.
I agree.
Cut the beefs. Don't cut the cheese.
Yeah, but sometimes you do have to iron out some shit.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I mean, I'm really kind of tired of creating enemies every fucking week.
I only asked Buddy because I wanted to know, like, when I go to back the project, that he's the owner.
No, completely understandable.
It had nothing to do with any drama on Twitter or any.
Well, yeah, and that's the
stuff
thing
like
about
that.
Aaron is he's so far removed from everything that he has no idea what's really going on ever. So he's a great neutral party.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. Like I said, I didn't want to make it this like my soapbox or anything, so I didn't want to bring it up. But if, I mean, anything, like I said, I welcome a chance to earn more fans, to earn more trust, to tell people like, look, this is what happened. The only thing I can do is talk openly and honestly about every situation. I don't want to badmouth anyone. I don't want to like insult or hurt somebody. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's just no need for that. I don't want to bring up old, like with Liam. I mean, I know that there was a situation he felt pretty bad at that time. I don't want to bring that up.
No, you don't want to, man. That's not cool.
All I want to do is say, like, look, this is my piece. It's my story. Don't say it's somebody else's. Have fun.
By the way, hey, this is a radio show. Have you guys seen the art for Sway? Do you want to look at it?
I still have the Blade Knights website pulled up here. I can.
I've only seen the one picture so far.
I was gonna say unless you can screen share easier.
Yeah, go for it, man. I don't have something open right now. So yeah, see what you got.
Well, Adam, while you're doing that, I just want to point out that Xevious, you have a very familiar voice.
Oh, interesting.
You sound like that guy Jeffy from the Glenn Beck show. You really, really do. I mean,
if you want, I can share it.
I am
if you've got art handy because the website just seems to kind of have a slideshow. So if you got something a little bit.
I mean, that's basically what it is. So I mean, that's all I was going to do for now. I mean, I have art handy, but it would be.
Okay, well, we'll just we'll pull.
Hey, look, I'm journalists asking hard-hitting questions and getting talked over.
If you're having trouble, do you want me to do it?
Okay, all I need to know. Thank you.
Chief Justice Optimus. Send me a link on that or a DM. I don't know what show you mean, but that sounds funny to me.
I'll send you a
You
sample.
can click on any of the thumbnails and it'll stop on that picture.
Now, who's drawing this book?
This is Jason Johnson.
Yep.
There we go. That's what I wanted.
Yeah, it looks neat.
Yeah, this is like what I was talking about. This is like you have this sort of like a figure in the background. I don't know if you can see it in the way in kind of the center. This was supposed to be sort of like, like the V shape kind of coming in. And then at the apex of that, at the end, like past everything is Central Park where this portal opens. And, then you have sort of these two sides of the world. You have on the, what I call the light and the dark. And on the light side, you have the people that are still faithful. And the people that are faithful, like they don't get anything for it. So you kind of see it like they're poor, they're broken, everything's crumbling. Now, if you bend to temptation, you get magic. So you have these people, they're beautiful, they're awesome, they're gorgeous looking, and they have this like, thriving sort of city skyline. And this all happens within just a few days. So then you have these people that are influenced, and I call them, dims. They're demonically influenced humans. So.
And this is fantastic line work by Jason Johnson, who, again, it sort of comes down to the whole politics thing. Like, I think he's a jackass, but he's talented, and I'd love to work with him as much as I can. And he's inks, I'm colors.
Jason Johnson worked for Wildstorm for a while. It's probably where you know him, Peter.
No, he did Wildstorm. He did. Again, he's amazing.
Oh, so he's a mainstream guy.
Yes, he is.
I mean, he's good enough to be one. I think he's a freelancer now. He does a lot of TDA art or TD art stuff.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I'm definitely. Like I said, I'm over all of the beefs and creating new enemies. If we can patch the roads that we've already paved, I think that would be for the best. I know yesterday in all of that bickering, Roe suggested that maybe you and Liam should come on a show and actually talk and maybe,
I told him sure,
smooth this out. I think that might be for the best. Extend that out and extend the olive branch.
I think
get it all out there.
Liam has blocked me because we had an argument once, and he doesn't. And so, I mean, I'm not going to beg anybody to talk.
Right.
I think Liam can be talked to by one of us, and
I'm gonna say, I'm sure you can find some intermediaries to open that
he's-
line if you need to.
Well, I mean, all of us are intermediaries. I mean, I'm a.
X said that he's working for both of them. So
Yeah,
I am. I mean, like,
I feel like Liam is crazy at times, but he's reasonable enough that I think he would.
Liam is Australian.
Yeah.
So picture like 6 weeks from now, I'm going to be pushing the work that I did with Xenotype because I worked hard on it. I was paid well by Liam, and I think it looks great.
Me too.
it's a good project.
And I'm doing Xenotype. I'm doing Sins of the Fae. I'm doing Sway. Like, what am I going to do? Like, say something bad about somebody else?
Yeah.
No, you definitely don't want to do that if you're ever pushing.
What are you doing on Xenotype?
Exactly. And by the way, my Twitter from the very beginning is like, I don't do that. And I'm involved in 7 other books or videos with different people. And again, I'm fully behind them because, they paid me.
It's in your best interest to see your employers do well.
I think it's in our best interest to see everybody do well. I mean, we're all in this we said we're a community, right? We're a culture. We're all in this together. Like, there's no reason not to uplift. Like I said before, everybody's like, oh, but there's not enough people. There are a crap ton of people. There's a crap ton of an audience that's out there that could hear about your book or that could hear about somebody else's book, come in and check it out and be like, oh, I like that one too. There's an opportunity for that, but there's not if we're like crabs in a bucket.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, sometimes I get called out sometimes for sounding like cynical or being, like sitting on the fence, but I'm not sitting on a fence. Like, if I like your work, and by the way, I love, this is going to be radically, like, Doug TenNapel is the best. And again, I'm telling you this, buddy, for like months. I wish I could use a paintbrush that well. That's Dirty Doug, Tapeworm Doug, but fuck, he's good at what he does. So he's cool with me in terms of art. Do I want to know him personally? I don't know. Mike draws the best hands on women I've ever seen. And just it goes on. So would I say no to somebody to work with them? No, I wouldn't. Not at all.
Can I, if I may, repeat something Sim said, because he's a little bastard who can't speak clearly. I think you said, Sim, you asked him what was he doing, what previews were you doing on Xenotype? What's your?
Sorry, say again.
What are you doing on Xenotype? That's what he was asking, I believe.
Yeah, earlier. What are you doing on Xenotype?
Yes.
So about 8 months ago, I did the cover with Liam, and I did the logo. And then Liam launched a comic book company called Conquest Comics with rabbits. I did the logo for them as well.
Okay.
And he's pretty happy with it, and I'm pretty happy with it. And yeah, it's cool shit. So he has my backing 100%.
Well, speaking of somebody who is absolutely killer with a brush, I want to segue over to this amazing project here by the quiet guy in the corner, Aaron.
Yeah.
His artist, Zoo, is amazing with a paintbrush.
Nice.
These interiors, he does a lot of stuff on YouTube, his YouTube channel, The Art of Zoo. He'll do, just live, I call them drawings, but I guess more accurately they would be paintings, because he just takes the page and he takes his brush and he just masterfully puts these pieces together.
So are those lines done by brush?
Yes.
Wow. Okay, nice. I saw it briefly, but yeah, let's see this.
Yeah, colors by Sim, also here with us today. Aaron, you wanna pitch your book for us?
Yeah, Cybershock is it's a sci-fi action story, and it's about a female Black Ops agent that discovers that the company she works for is developing mind control software to use on their agents, and she doesn't want to go along with that, so she steals the software and tries to escape the base, and they send a bounty hunter out after her, and they fight, and then allegiances change a couple times throughout the book, and it's mostly just big chasing and fight, like different chase scenes and fight scenes, and it's just a badass action sci-fi book.
You have a good sense of action, though. I mean, I can see just in the pages that you've got here. I mean, it's not. I don't know. I see a lot of like in kind of beginning writers, script writers, whatever, in the storyboard, and what they have is like repetitive scenes. Like you'll have 3 panels of some guy in a bed like holding his head or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing, but everything's different. It's moving. It's actionable. Like I can tell what's going on, and I like that.
That's a credit to Zoo. My scripts don't break down by panels, and yeah, that's Zoo's storytelling.
All right.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I can, like, I don't know. My trick is like, if I don't know words, if I can see it, you know what I mean? Like I can see it moving in my head, and I can see this moving, so that's good.
Yeah, it is good.
I see Tonpa's asking how long it's going to be in demand. It's going to be in demand until it goes to print, which will hopefully be at the beginning of March.
Yeah.
And that's been our goal has been March ever since I started the campaign. So we're not late yet.
That's always good, especially with your first campaign.
At the bottom, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see my progress. I put up a progress report 2 days ago, right there, and that shows what we've got done so far.
That's really great, man.
Script complete, cover complete, variant cover complete. Line art is 27 of 28 pages. Colors are 12 of 28 plus covers. Letters 15 out of 28. And the free trading card with physical backing is also complete.
Congrats, man.
Nice.
Thank you.
So, sorry, who's the colors on this?
I am
Sim.
Nice.
Sim did the interior colors. Zoo did the cover colors here.
Yep.
They're really good. Really good.
So what I'm gathering from that update is Sim, get to work.
Sim's really doing me a big favor here. We, me and Zoo, we originally planned for Zoo to color the whole book, and we quickly found out that coloring is harder than we thought, and that we would be late on the book if we didn't get a colorist. And yeah, I pretty much begged Sim to be the colorist on the book, and he took the job. And he's really doing great. He's kicking ass.
He's kicking ass.
And this is, this is one of those. You get a lot of bang for your buck out of this campaign. Physical copy for $15 plus shipping. You can get in on the digital for $7. If you're international, you don't want to pay for some of the outrageous shipping fees. Physical copy or 2-pack, you get for $25. So you get a little discount if you get 2 of them.
If you like action stuff, this book is just jam packed. Like there's no.
Yeah, it's a good deal. 28 pages for $15, fully colored, and there's like you saw the storytelling of Zoo. Even though if it's his first comic, he's never done that other than maybe storyboarding, because that's one of the things that we come from. He does concept art and storyboarding.
Yep.
So that's his first book, and it's good.
Yeah, and just think about that too for a moment. That first books by artists and creators are always worth more money in the long run. So when Zoo really takes off as an artist, this is still going to be that first book he's ever done, and will probably be worth quite a bit more than the $15 cover price that Aaron's got on it.
Yeah, like what is it like? The John Woo fans, when they saw. When he was at his top of his game in Hard Boiled, they went back and look at his old kung fu movies.
Yeah, exactly. So that's where I wanted to wrap it up today. I just wanted to make sure we got that Cybershock promo in there because it's funded, but man, it could be doing a lot better than $1,700.
By a lot.
By a lot. And we do have some stretch goals in place that we can make everybody work a little bit harder. If we get to $3,000. It adds on 4 more pages of story and action.
Yeah, and 3 lucky backers will get a sketch card.
Oh, that's also, we need to promote that too. Yes, 3 randomly selected lucky backers will get a sketch card.
Okay.
So thank you guys for coming on today. I do appreciate you taking the time to clear the air on some of these issues that have been going on. I wish you guys both the best of luck with these campaigns. You said March 13th?
Yep. Yes, sir.
For Sins of Fae, and then what about Sway? Is that the same day or?
Yeah, I'm going to try and do the same day. If it changes, I'll put it out there, because we were going to do everything with one artist, and for reasons, but I just can't do 2 books with one artist. So
well, this is, I feel like, a bit of an experiment as well. I don't think anyone has launched 2 campaigns on the same day. Oh,
dude, it's kind of nuts actually. But we've been reading for a couple months. We've been playing around with metrics and Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, just the general sphere of how this stuff all works. So, maybe we can sort of set a trail and see what happens, because Mike tried it. It didn't work. But he got shut down by Kickstarter, but we won't get we won't get shut down, so it should be okay.
I just I just have hot chicks doing cool things, so
yeah, exactly.
Well, that's the thing about this CG crowdfunding industry right now, is that we're all kind of learning, and you got to eventually take that leap and figure out if something is going to work or something. If not, if it doesn't work, then for next time. If it does work, well, then for next time that it works. So best of luck to you guys. Thank you very much again for coming on. Everybody in the chat, thank you guys for coming. Make sure you check all these great books out. Back Blood Hunt, back Cybershock. Sign up for the mailing list for both Sway and Sins of Fae. And we will see you Tuesday for CG Jumpstart Between the Panels. I'm not going to reveal our guest yet. I'm going to keep it a secret till Monday. But it'll be a great show as always. And then again, we'll be back next Saturday for another episode of the Weekend Woke Up.
Same old day, same old time.
Damn right. More shenanigans are abound. Have a great weekend, everybody. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.
Good night, man.
Later, homies.
It was
See you
well
later, guys.
show.